Hello to Addie and Flynn and Ava and Phoenix and Azure and Sophia. I hope you all are well and I hope you're ready for a good story. I have a story that I'm going to read two different versions of, and this is a really important story, but I don't want to give it away. I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you. The first version is out of this book, The Children of God Storybook Bible by Desmond Tutu, and it's the story of the Ten Commandments. So here's how the story goes. Moses led the Hebrews through the desert to Mount Sinai. Fire and smoke erupted from the mountain, and the ground shook when God spoke in the thunder. My children, I brought you out of slavery, and now I will teach you how to live in freedom. All people are my children, but I have chosen you to be a blessing to all the people of the world. Then God taught the Hebrews his rules for loving him and loving each other. Put God first. Do not worship other gods. Respect God's name. Keep a day to rest and pray. Listen to your mother and father. Do not hurt anyone. Mothers and fathers must love each other. Do not take anything without asking. Tell the truth. Be thankful for what you have. When the people heard the voice of God, they promised to love him and obey his rules forever. Moses carved 2 tablets of stone with the commandments that God had given, so the people would not forget them. After the Hebrews had wandered in the desert for many years, God brought them to a land flowing with milk and honey, just as he had promised. It was the land of Israel. And this version of the story ends with a little prayer, and the prayer goes like this. Dear God, help me to love you and always to do what is right. So that's one version. Here's another version. I'm going to read the version out of this book, the Children's Illustrated Bible. And the title is Moses Receives God's Laws. After 3 months, the children of Israel arrived at the foot of the holy mountain of Sinai, where they made their camp. Moses went up the mountain to pray to God, who told him that in 3 days God would speak to the people. On the morning of the 3rd day, the sky turned black, and thunder and lightning crashed and rumbled through the darkness. The mountain itself belched smoke and fire like a great furnace, and the ground shook. Then the voice of God was heard like a mighty trumpet, calling Moses to him. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, and these are my commandments to be obeyed by all the people. You shall worship no other God but me. You shall not make any statue or picture to worship. You shall not speak the name of the Lord except with reverence. You shall keep the Sabbath, the 7th day, as a holy day of rest. For in 6 days I made the world, but on the 7th day I rested. You shall show respect to your mother and father. You shall not commit murder. You shall not be unfaithful to your husband or wife. You shall not steal. You shall not speak falsely against others. You shall not envy another person's possessions. When the people heard the thunder and saw the flames and the smoke, they were terrified and would not come near. But Moses reassured them. Do not be afraid, he said. God has come to us so that we may learn his commandments and keep ourselves free of sin. But still the people shrank back, and again Moses went up the mountain alone to the dark cloud on the summit where God was. Wow, that story has a lot to it, doesn't it? But I think the essence about the story is rules for making life more wonderful for each other and for our families and our communities. So I'm wondering, when you hear all those rules, which rules sound easy to follow? And I wonder, when you think through those rules, which ones would be hard to follow? And do you think there's enough rules? If you could add more rules, what rules would you add? And when you heard that list of rules, did you think maybe there's too many rules? Which rule would you get rid of, or rules? And I wonder, if it was up to you, or maybe you could work together with your family, what would it look like if you made 10 commandments for your family? And these would be rules that you could make to make your family's life peaceful and healthy. That sounds like fun homework, actually, if you have time for such homework. And a really easy homework would be, I wonder if you could find Mount Sinai on a map. It's a real place. You could look it up on the internet and find some pictures of it or something. It's pretty interesting, I bet. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And next week, I'm going to show you the same story, but using godly play, so you can see what the difference is between reading the story in a book and having the story sort of acted out for you. So I hope you're staying warm out there. It's really cold out, but at least it's sunny today. So have a great week. And actually, I think I'll be seeing you in a few days on Zoom. So be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.